The sun hangs low on the horizon, a pale, heatless coin in a sky of bruised purple and slate gray. Here, in the vast expanse of the northern woodlands, territory that would one day be mapped as the boreal reaches of Canada and the northern United States, the world is changing. The vibrant riots of autumn red and gold have long decayed into the soil. Now, there is only the white silence. For the indigenous peoples of these lands, the Cree, the Ojibwe, the Innu, and the northern Athabascans, winter is not merely a season. It is a living entity. It is a test of spirit, a distinct shift in the cosmology of life. In the warm months, the land gives freely. In the winter, the land demands payment in the currency of knowledge, preparation, and respect. As the temperature plummets to 30 degrees below zero, the sap in the trees freezes with a sound like a rifle shot, the forest itself cracking under the strain. For the people, survival begins long before the first snow falls. It begins with the understanding that to fight the winter is to die. One must instead flow with it, insulate against it, and understand its brutal physics. The camp is settled in a sheltered valley, away from the biting wind that scours the ridges. Smoke curls lazily from the tops of the winter lodges. These are not the temporary summer camps. These structures are feats of engineering. Whether it is the conical wigwam or the heavy winter teepee, the principle is the same: thermodynamics. Let us look closer at the shelter. It is built of sturdy saplings, often birch or willow, bent and lashed together with spruce roots. But the genius lies in the layering. The coverings are thick hides, moose or caribou, tanned with a mixture of animal brains and smoke to keep them pliable and water-resistant. Inside, it is not merely a tent, it is a machine for retaining heat. The floor is lined with thick boughs of balsam fir. This is not for decoration. The needles trap pockets of air, creating insulation against the frozen earth, preventing the cold from seeping up into the sleeper's bones. In the center, the fire is small but constant. The smoke rises to the opening at the apex, but a crucial innovation keeps the heat in: the liner. A dew cloth or inner skin hangs from the poles, creating a double wall effect. The cold air entering from the bottom travels up between the outer shell and the inner liner, creating a draft that draws the smoke out while leaving the living space draft-free and surprisingly warm. Outside, the wind may howl, but inside, the temperature is stable. But one cannot stay inside forever. To step out is to enter an alien environment. The clothing worn here is the result of thousands of years of adaptation. It is tailored technology. The base layer is soft leather, worn with the fur turned inward against the skin to trap body heat. The outer layer has the fur turned outward to shed snow. Consider the moccasin. A tight boot restricts blood flow and invites frostbite. The winter moccasin is soft, spacious, and packed with dried moss or grass. This organic insulation wicks away sweat, the killer of the north, and keeps the foot warm even when standing on ice for hours. Survival is a calorie game. In the cold, the human body burns energy at a furious rate simply to maintain its core temperature. Fresh game is scarce. The deer yard up in deep cedar swamps. The bears are asleep. The people rely on the work done months ago. They eat pemmican. This is the ultimate survival ration. During the autumn hunts, lean meat, bison, elk, or moose, was sliced thin and dried in the sun and smoke until it was brittle. It was then pounded into a powder. But protein alone causes starvation in the cold. The body craves fat. So the pulverized meat was mixed with rendered tallow, liquid fat poured over the powder, sometimes with dried berries for vitamins. Sealed in rawhide bags, pemmican can last for years without spoiling. It is dense, high-energy fuel. A handful can sustain a hunter for an entire day of trekking. It is the fuel that powers the human engine through the long nights. Yet, stored food runs low. The men must hunt. And to hunt in this frozen landscape, they need tools that will not fail. enter the lodge of the toolmaker. The atmosphere here is one of intense focus. The preparation of hunting gear is a sacred duty. A flawed weapon means a hungry family. The primary weapon is the bow. But a winter bow is different. Wood becomes brittle in extreme cold. A green stick would snap. The bowyer has selected a stave of ash, hickory, or Osage orange, harvested seasons ago and cured slowly in the shade to prevent checking. He works the wood with a stone scraper, following the grain. But the secret to its power is sinew. The toolmaker takes the tough, fibrous tendons from the spine of a deer. He chews them to soften the fibers, separating them into threads. Using a glue made from boiled hooves or fish skins, a natural collagen adhesive, he layers the wet sinew onto the back of the bow. As the sinew dries, it shrinks. This shrinking pulls the wood backward, creating a reflex curve. When the bow is strung, it is under immense tension. This composite construction gives the weapon a snap and power that wood alone could never achieve, driving an arrow with lethal force even in freezing air. Then, the arrows. They must be perfectly straight. The maker uses a sandstone straightener, heating the shaft and bending it true. The fletching is made of turkey or owl feathers, tied with incredibly fine threads of sinew. The head is not just a rock, it is a scalpel. Using an antler tine, the maker pressure flakes a piece of chert or obsidian. He pushes off microscopic flakes of stone until the edge is sharper than a modern surgical razor. When it hits, it cuts deep, ensuring a quick, humane kill. But the most important tool of all is not a weapon, it is the snowshoe. Without them, a man sinks to his waist in the powder, exhausted in minutes. The snowshoe distributes weight, allowing the hunter to float. The frames are bent from ash wood, steamed over the fire until pliable, then curved into a teardrop shape. The netting is the masterpiece, strips of rawhide called babiche, woven in a complex hexagonal pattern. The weave is tight enough to support weight, but open enough to let loose snow sift through so the shoe doesn't become heavy. This is the technology of mobility. The gear is ready. The hunter steps out. The landscape is blindingly white. He straps on the snowshoes. Crunch, crunch. The sound is rhythmic, almost hypnotic. He moves into the wind. He is looking for signs, broken twigs, pellets of scat, the depression in the snow where a moose has bedded down. He does not just look, he reads the narrative of the forest. The hunt in winter is slow. It requires a patience that modern man has largely forgotten. The hunter might stand perfectly still for an hour, waiting for a flick of an ear in the brush. He controls his breathing so that the cloud of vapor does not give him away. When the moment comes, a large bull moose stripping bark from a willow, the hunter draws the sinew-backed bow. The wood groans softly, a tension building. He releases. The arrow flies silent and true. There is no cheering. There is a solemn gratitude. As the animal falls, the hunter approaches and offers a prayer, thanking the spirit of the moose for giving its life so the village may see another spring. He cleans the animal quickly, for the carcass will freeze solid in an hour. Every part will be used, the meat for food, the hide for warmth, the bones for tools, the sinew for the next bow. Nothing is wasted. As he drags the toboggan back toward the smoke of the distant fires, the northern lights begin to dance overhead, curtains of green and violet shimmering in the thermosphere. Here, in the deep winter, life does not just endure, it adapts, it innovates, and it persists. Through the mastery of fire, the engineering of the lodge, and the precision of the stone and the bow, the people do not fight the cold. They embrace it, living in a harsh, beautiful harmony with the white silence.